It is my pleasure to welcome our next speaker, Ms. Famina Jahan, and she completed a BS and MS in microbiology from University of Dhaka. And prior to moving to Canada, Famina worked at Oregon BD Limited and Novartis Bangladesh Limited for more than 7 years. She is currently a quality assurance manager, leading the quality assurance team of Dalton Pharma Services based in Toronto, Canada. She has extensive experience and training in QA and QC. In her current position, she leads the corporate external audits in North America and hosts regulatory audits such as FDA and Health Canada. With this, I'd like to, it is my pleasure, Ms. Famina Jahan, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Firdaus Hassan, for introducing me. And I was enjoying very much Nagesh and Dr. Aftab's presentation. I cannot thank much to ISBM for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with my fellow microbiologists regarding job searching. In other words, pursuing a career in pharma industry. Prior to start that, it is better to know that pharmaceuticals are extremely regulated industry, and in North America, FDA and Health Canada are the major regulatory bodies. I'm going to share my slide. Thanks ISBM for considering me for sharing my experience. And currently, actually, I want to show my career path to let you guys understand how I reach into this level and how I executed my microbiology experience. So back in 2003 in Bangladesh, after completion of my master's from Dhaka University, I started as a microbiologist. And I came in Canada after 2011 as I started again as a microbiologist. Microbiologist I started, and now I'm working as a quality assurance manager. The responsibility of a quality assurance manager is to ensure that drug was manufactured in a GMP environment by following appropriate regulations, and this is pure and safe for patients. To execute this responsibility, it is mandatory to know that each and every area of a manufacturing process. So as per the job nature of a microbiologist gets the opportunity to work every section of every department, I would say, of a manufacturing facilities. For example, manufacturing, production, aseptic processing, facility, quality assurance, which gave me a remarkable exposure to learn different areas of manufacturing to execute my current responsibilities. Only microbiological experience is good enough to reach to a supervisor position. However, to grow further, occupational training and leadership training is required. For occupational training, I would recommend for PDA, SPSG. These are available in Canada and US, and leadership trainings. A lot of leadership trainings are available. So that was my pretty much my story to reach into this position. I would draw and there are much more to explore to grow. I would draw a yellow line to show you to understand that what is the management structure look like in North America and Canada, including Canada. So yellow line, above the yellow line, they are part of management. So that can go up to, as Abir showed, that's a limit is sky limit. So you can go to director, vice president, to any other, to that level. And supervisor, they call is frontline management. The area industries to explore. I would definitely recommend, if you would like to grow your career in pharmaceutical industry, any pharmaceutical you can explore, sterile, non-sterile, could be anything. However, as a microbiologist, I would recommend prioritize sterile manufacturing, because sterile manufacturing is highly dependable on a microbiologist. And pharmaceutical testing laboratories as well. Pharmaceutical testing laboratories test products that is manufactured in pharmaceutical industry. So these are a very good area to start as a microbiologist and get into the pharmaceutical industry. This is a very simple flow chart that will show you how to get into a job. This is a gateway. If you if you complete any degree, if you complete the degree, master's or PhD in North America, PhD is not a mandatory requirement for pharmaceutical industry. If you complete your degree in North America, you can get into the business directly. If you are an immigrant, if you are an immigrant who completed his or her degree outside North America, that if you have previous experience, that person can get into an internship position and get into the industry, or that person can go to the industry directly by using his or her previous experience. And if you are from outside North America and you don't have any relevant experience, you can get into an internship or voluntary position directly, or you can achieve a certificate or diploma that is very relevant to pharmaceutical industry, then go to the internship position and voluntary position and get into an industry. This is very simple diagram how you can get into an industry. The requirements, I'm not sure why this is coming into my window. However, requirements are university bachelor degree in microbiology. Why I mentioned university bachelor degree? Pharma industries are highly regulated by very many regulatory bodies. One of them is United States Pharmacopoeia. So USP actually mentioned clearly in their regulation that for microbiologist position, you have to have your degree, university bachelor degree in microbiology. Then you need experience and or diploma would be an asset. Resume preparation is another very important, vital point, I would say. Develop interview skills. I cannot emphasize enough for this one. Networking, as Nagesh mentioned, networking is so much important for getting a job. And open to accept a voluntary or intern position. This is actually one kind of requirement. This is specifically for Canada, this slide. If you want to get a certificate or diploma, there are many areas you can get: industrial pharmaceutical technology, good manufacturing practice, regulatory affairs, quality assurance. More or less it requires 1 or 2 years. After that, you can get into the co-op or internship position. Resume. Resume tailoring is a very vital point to get into any kind of job, because the employer and the applicant, they don't know each other. Your resume will speak about you, what is your education, what is your experience related, and how this company is going to be benefited from your experience. So resume tailoring is extremely important. I would emphasize 2 things: that resume tailoring should be only according to the job description, and only by relating own experience. Do not put anything that you do not have experience with that matter. Review resume with a mentor. Find a mentor. I would say find a mentor, find a friend, find a co-worker, whoever it is, your previous co-worker, who has a similar experience, who work in a similar industry, and get the advice and review the resume with that mentor. Keep your resume very simple, very relevant information only should be put inside the resume. And resume should not be more than 2-page. 2-page resume. For the first thing, the resume, when we hire people, when we call for interview, we screening of resume. When we see more than 2-page resume, it gets rejected at the first sight. So do not make your resume more than 2-page. For example, you can use Arial font for 11. This is the standard font. You can use it, and do not make it crowded, and should be very legible. I have to mention here that all of us has actually many degrees, many qualities, many extremely good qualities, but not everything should be in the resume. You need to identify, you need to justify what information, what quality the resume should carry for that particular position. A good resume take you to an interview. So we have 2 different kind of interviewer asks 2 different kind of questions. One is technical questions, and the other one is behavioral questions. Technical questions, you are already master of a microbiologist, so you don't need to think what technical question you don't know. Behavioral questions, these are smart answer. You have to be very smart to answer behavioral questions. Why? Behavioral questions, by asking behavioral questions, employer wants to see your critical thinking capability, problem solving capability, conflict resolution tactics. To answer these questions, you need to follow a STAR method, or employer or interviewer wants to see that you are answering, you are presenting your life experience as an example in a structured way. What was the situation, what was the task you were supposed to do, and what was the action you have taken out of the box, and what was the outcome from this situation or that problem. That's all. Problem solving capability shows your efficiency. I would highly recommend to practice this STAR. You should have mock interviews. Get your friends for a mock interview. You do your mock interview with your family. If you do not have any kind of this option, some agency also does the mock interviews. If you do not have any of this option, just take your video of our mock interview and play it and see what you don't like. So this is a very important skill you need to develop to become successful in an interview. Networking cannot, nothing can replace networking. LinkedIn is a very good networking site, I would say, because nowadays when we post any job posting, I got so many resumes from LinkedIn, and we invite many people from LinkedIn profile and LinkedIn. They reach to us, and then we ask them for interview when the resume matches to our job description. A very good site. And other, I would say, professional network. Take initiatives to find out relevant professionals in your own surroundings. For example, ISBM. ISBM is International Society of Bangladesh Affiliated Microbiology. I would highly recommend to connect to this organization. Why? Because there you will not only get microbiologist professional who has completed their degree in microbiology. We have engineers, we have environmental scientists, we have pharmacists, we have biochemists who completed their degree in a different track. However, they moved to microbiology field by enriching their experience through different training, through different professional training into the microbiology, and currently working in a microbiology field. So this you can reach to those people and then definitely ask for help to how you can prepare for industry. So I would really recommend this organization for your networking, and find many more. So there is actually no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.
I hate to interrupt. You have 10 minutes already, so 2 more minutes if you can wrap it up. Thank you.
I'm already almost done. Yes.
Thank you.
So there is no. You have to take the stairs. So all these departments in a pharmaceutical company, I would say these are stairs. It was stairs for me, so that will be stairs for everyone. Why you need? What is the prospects in pharma industry? Because you can reach to the leadership level, as Abir mentioned. I am saying again, you can reach to the leadership level in pharma business, because pharmaceutical rarely hire leaders from other industry. They always look for specific experience, either pharma experience or regulatory experience. This is actually a very inspiring quote. I really like her. I really like her. I'm really inspired with her. And passion is energy. So feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. Saying that pharma industry should not be an alternative option. If you are interested, if you are excited to build your career in pharmaceutical industry, you must think ahead of time. Here is my contact info. If you feel to ask any question later on or now, I'm happy to do that. Thank you very much.
And I hope that you enjoyed the session, and please, if you do, please join our ISBM Facebook group. And with that, I would like to end the session.